everyone. It's me, Gwendolyn. Welcome to the Green Room with the Gwendolyn, presented by Digital Faire. I'm really excited that you're here today because my best friends are here too, and we're going to talk to them and find out all about all of their amazingness. Well, most of it. I think their amazingness is probably too much for just a little time on the internet. So you're going to have to probably meet them live and in person. I highly recommend it because they're amazeballs. So I'm going to say hi to everybody who's here. Thanks for tuning in. I see everybody, Cabana, William, Channa, Dory, Cabana again. I know my feathers are so floofy. I borrowed them from my best friend, Daisy O'Danny. If she doesn't know I have them, don't tell her. Hi, Pete, Lisa, who else did I see out there? Kelly. I said Kelly, William, Pete, and Pete's birthday. Pete, I wrote your birthday song. You want to hear it? Good. This is what it is. This is your birthday song. It isn't very long. We did it. All right. Hi, Todd. Hi, Jamie. Yeah, you guys are here. I'm super excited. Yeah, Daisy is a hoot. She's going to be on our show at some point. I don't know what's happening. Who put me in charge of stuff? Someone who doesn't know what they're doing. Anyway, the Langers Ball. That's who's here today. I'm going to bring on in just a minute. The Langers Ball has 2 people in it. 2 people in a big cart. The cart is big enough that you could probably fit both of them inside without even having to bend Hannah. Like, she could probably just and Michael, he's taller. Anyway, Hannah and Michael are the 2 people, and they are a Irish folk punk. It's not alphabetical. I wrote it down. Irish folk punk. I'm going to star it on my card. You guys have green cards like a real talk show host. That's what makes a real talk show host, right? I don't know. Anyway, cards. Irish folk punk. And we think they're the only Irish folk punk band in the whole Renaissance Festival circuit. Right? So if you know them, you know very unique people. They're like an endangered species. No, I take that back. Anyway, I'm going to bring them on just right now because I can see their face. You can't see them yet, but I can see their faces. And they're like, Gwendolyn, what are you talking about? And so I'm going to bring them on right now. You guys, welcome. I'm imagining that you're clapping in just a minute. Welcome, Hannah and Michael from the Langers Ball. Hi, friends.
Hey, Gwendolyn, it's good to see you.
Hi, it's good to see you, too. I haven't seen you in like 17 years.
I know.
So, everyone, this is Hannah. Hannah, raise your hand. And Michael raise your hand so that you can know which is who. And so you guys are Irish folk punk music band, and between you play like 17 different instruments, right? Like guitar, correct, harmonica, vocals, kick drum, accordion, penny whistle, vocals. That's dancing.
I do
cart.
Yeah, cart.
What? The cart. Tell me. So, okay. Oh, I don't have a picture of your cart. It's big. So the cart also doubles as buy all of our stuff because you have lots of fun merchandise. As I see, you are wearing the Langers Ball famous T-shirt, which I also have one of. I have one of the one that Hannah has on. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. That was my boob. So that's
no one minds. And
5 minutes in.
That's we're doing great. So those are instruments you play. You put them in the cart. You pull the cart somewhere else. Open the cart. Play the instruments. Sell your CDs and T-shirts and scarves and stickers and buttons. Hats. I was gonna say hats, but I wasn't sure. Put everything back in the cart. Take it somewhere else.
We're like traveling salespeople.
Yeah, but with music, but with your own accompaniment.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like magic. So you do a variety of Renaissance festivals. So we met at the Arizona Renaissance Festival like 1,000 years ago, and we instantly became best friends because of dancing, which is how you make all of the funnest friends.
That's how we met.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and you guys met dancing too, and we're gonna have to dance together next time we see each other, which is going to be in a couple weeks. Sorry, I just got really excited because this year, Hannah and Michael and Langers Ball are making their debut at the Maryland Renaissance Festival for the final 2 weekends. So the last 2 weekends of the festival, which are in October. And they've got sets at the Gatehouse stage. No, Boar's Head. I looked. It's on the website.
I don't remember it.
You don't have to know. You don't have to know till you get there.
Right. We've never been there, so it didn't mean anything yet. I was like, that's where we're going to be, and I can't picture what that is because I've never been there.
It's going to be a magical place, and I'm so excited for you to see it. It's going to be great, and everyone's going to love you. And then they're going to play all the music, and people are going to tap their feet right off. But before,
we have had someone dance her taps off of her shoes at one of our shows.
They came flying off.
Flew off the bottom of her shoes.
That's amazing.
That was pretty. Yeah, it was pretty epic.
Did it hit someone?
And we often have people dance their ears off at the end of the day. Someone will be dancing and they've gotten the elf ears and things, and they
go flying
at least once a month. That'll happen.
That's amazing. Does it ever poke someone in the eye?
Not yet.
I hope not.
But for how often it happens, that's bound to happen.
Yeah. I want to see the taps one. That's if that's like a secret weapon that James Bond's person would give him. James Bond's person is not. It's not Jeeves, and it's not the butler from Batman, whose name I can't remember. Alfred.
Q,
probably. I'm not from here.
Well, that's Star Trek. That's not a helper,
right? Couldn't they pick a different letter? And so they could probably get tap shoes that had the taps slid off and smacked someone in the face, or got stuck underneath their. Sorry,
knives on the tap.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're deadly taps. Feet of. Anyway, so you guys did Arizona, and then you were at Bristol, and now you're at New York.
Yes.
Awesome.
With a few stops before then, but yeah.
You went to what?
Oh, we had a few other stops also. We were in Des Moines and West Virginia and Sherwood last year.
Oh, all right. So you guys have a bunch of. You're on the circuit for a very long time during the year, but this is also your full-time gig.
Yes,
just like me. Yeah, we're all on circuit, moving around the country all the time. Cool. And so New York, and when does New York run till?
New York runs another 4 weekends, and dates have become irrelevant ever since the pandemic. So I don't know. 4 weekends.
4 weekends counts. I don't know dates either. And then you come down to Maryland and have an awesome time there. And then you go down to Sarasota, to even farther south. Yep. And then you do there. And Sarasota you haven't been to either.
No, that'll be a new one for us too. We're doing the Sarasota Medieval Fair, and awesome. we're thrilled. So especially because we call Iowa home, and if you've ever been in Iowa in November or December, it's chilly. So we're gonna be. It's
very chilly. Yeah, snow forever, flat snow forever in Iowa.
We love Iowa, but it's chilly in November.
We don't love it in the winter.
Yeah. No.
And the New York Festival runs through the 9th of October. I pulled up my calendar. The 9th of October.
9th of October. Get your tickets, folks.
Yeah. Can you buy tickets at the gate, or do you have to buy them online?
I believe
I think you can do either.
I think so.
But it's probably cheaper to get them ahead of time.
Generally, for most fairs, I think it is.
And
plan ahead.
They are limiting attendance a bit, just because it's been so crazy off the hook, and the fair is very popular. So get your tickets in advance.
Yeah. Same with Maryland. So you guys know. So it's the last 2 weekends of the Maryland Festival. We close on the 23rd of October. So that's a Sunday. 22nd is a Saturday, and whatever the Sunday and Saturday is before that. And the Maryland Renaissance Festival is also a capping capacity, and you can only get your tickets online. Yep. So do those things of people that are watching. So here's the thing that I heard happened to you guys one time, and that it was this thing happened that you came across an alarming number of bagpipes.
There was
all at one time, or you're just surprised at how many bagpipes there are in the world?
No, there was a time when we just started getting going, doing this more full time. We weren't doing Renaissance festivals entirely, but it was right around the Irish Festival, Renaissance Festival season for us. And with rehearsals and all the shows that we had, I was listening to bagpipes off in the distance, and I kind of did the math, and I think there was like a string of 37 days when I heard live bagpipes, 37 days in a row, just from where we had been and where we were going. And I thought that was remarkable. So I remarked upon it.
So it wasn't all the bagpipes all at once. It was just the length of time.
It was a steady diet of bagpipes.
Yeah. Steady diet of bagpipes. Sometimes when you've worked at Renaissance festivals long enough, you hear bagpipes all the time when there's not bagpipes.
Phantom pipes.
So phantom pipes.
Kind of what my tinnitus is.
Oh,
it's just bagpipes.
It's just bagpipe tinnitus. I forgot to tell everybody in the beginning that there are a variety of ways that you can get hold of Langer's Ball and their music and their merchandise, and I'm putting the links for that in the chitty chat right now. And I'm also going to put them along the bottom of the banner thing. There's a little ticky tacky down there, so you can see it, but you can't click on those. So that's why I copy paste it in the comments. And you probably can't clicky those either, but you can copy paste those much easier than down in the bottom. Here's something that would be fun.
I was just watching the ticker.
Oh yeah, isn't it fun? Something that could be fun that's being suggested is phantom piping in the fog.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yes.
That's my best friend Keegan.
I like the way Keegan's thinking.
Yeah, he makes good smelling soaps from Badger Creek.
That's my favorite type of soap.
Good to know.
Good smelling ones.
Good smelling, right? Yeah.
What I've recently learned to do is actually use those good smelling soaps instead of just saving them for something special.
What?
I know. All right, so alarming number of bagpipes in extended period of time, not like a herd of bagpipes rushing at you, which is
We've had that too.
You've had that too, but you know.
I need to know about that one.
Well, we've also stared down
that.
the barrel of a bagpipe. So there was a bar that we used to play in Minneapolis, and they had a very small, compact,
cozy,
efficient stage, but it was very tall. It was like 5 feet tall, so you were standing like on someone's shoulders essentially when you're standing there. And it's not uncommon for Irish pubs to have bagpipers or bagpipe bands come in. If they're in the area, they'll stop in the pubs. They usually get free drinks.
It was Beer Fest.
It was beer. Oh, that's right. So we were standing on the stage, and the pipers came in, and it's always very welcome because we get to take a little break. But we couldn't exit this efficient stage because they were blocking the stairway. So we stood on it behind the bagpipes, and we were
like the bagpipes were like
the top of the chanters was
there.
like 16 inches from our heads, just pointed right at our faces. And if you think bagpipes are loud when you're standing next to a piper, you should stand up and behind one. They're incredibly loud.
Oh no!
It was deafening.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty epic. It was kind of like being at a Motorhead concert.
I don't know who Motorhead is, so
but
you guys, sorry. I know you guys know. I'm gonna have to just have music time with you guys where you're like, listen to this, because I don't know how to do that. How many bagpipes at once was that one with the tiny little efficient stage?
That was maybe like 7 or...
Yeah, it was only like 5 or 7.
Yeah, it wasn't that many.
I can't imagine 5 or 7 bagpipes indoors.
Oh, yeah.
It's a physical experience.
Yeah, I believe it. Sometimes they get to play. You'll meet Piper Jones if you haven't yet met the Piper Jones band. You'll meet them when you come to Maryland.
Yay.
Yeah,
I've never met them.
They're amazing. EJ's a piper, Francis plays the bazooka, and Andrew plays the drums, and Alex plays some drums. But I play a song with them called Bagpipes on Fire, I think. I forget what it's called. I play whistle with them, and then halfway through, 2 more bagpipes come in, and then they like go to the front of the stage, and I'm like, bagpipes, and I move to the back of the stage.
That's smart.
Yeah. I don't. Okay. Can you tell me, since I see that we're all drinking, everyone take a drink of your drink. I also heard that you guys have a beer named after you, and it's the Langer's Ball Irish Lager, and it's in Minnesota. And so tell me about that. How did that happen? How did you get that? I want something like alcohol named after me.
So before we were traveling full time, we had a lot of regular bars and places that we played, and we love to play, and we want to get back to them. We miss you guys. So there's a place in Buffalo, Minnesota called Hayes' Public House, opened by a friend of ours named Pugs Hayes. And Pugs makes great beer, and he does very cool things. And he called us up once. We played there often, and the crowds were always amazing, and the people were fantastic. There you go. There's the logo for Hayes' Public House. We've got their hoodies, but they were Pugs just said, "Hey, we should make like a Langer's beer," and I said, "That's great." And we decided that we were going to make a lager because Hannah was exploring lagers at that point. And
I thought I would try beer that I can see through.
Yeah, because usually we drink dark beer, but it's delicious. And so Pugs did through all his research, he found like a very, very like what he thought was probably the first recipe for Harp Irish lager. And we modified it a bit and played around with it a little bit and used German hops and German yeast. So we made a German-Irish fusion lager called the Langer's Lager, and it is delish. And we helped him. We were there. We brewed the first batch with him, and it was so fun. And we didn't know. It was just a lark. You know, we didn't know if it was going to take off or be popular or whatever. They're still brewing it.
They are.
Like years later.
And there was a they kegged it up for one of the pubs that we play at regularly.
Yeah, so there's another pub that you could order. You could go and hear us and drink us.
Yeah. Oh, and we had glasses.
Yep.
We had lager glasses that had both logos on it, so that was kind of cool.
So famous.
I know. So incidentally, if you have any distillers currently watching, we're interested in doing a whiskey as well.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah, so there's any distillers or people who know distillers or frequent distillers.
We sing a lot about whiskey.
They sing a lot about whiskey.
A lot.
So obviously they need a whiskey. Oh, we have a question from the audience also about alcohol. If you had a wine named after you, what would that be like? Okay. You froze for a second, but you're back.
It would be awesome. That's what it would be like. It would be fantastic. It would be sure awesome. I don't know. What would it be?
Sure awesome.
It would probably be a red. Baby. Probably be a red.
Mine would probably be a little bit bitter. A little bit
dry.
Definitely dry. Dry.
I don't know. Why do they ask?
Do you have
alcohol.
A winery?
Do they have a winery?
Yeah. Oh, who asked? Let me scroll up. Sunny, do you have a winery that you're gonna name these?
Oh, I see that someone asked what our whiskey is going to be named.
Yeah, I was going to get to that one next.
I'm partial to Radisky whiskey myself. So, but that's
like
just
that.
me.
Because Radisky is your last name.
Because that's my last name.
Because that's Hannah's last name.
Yes.
And then it's rhymey, which is always fun. Radisky whiskey. Yeah. And then so you have to have two. You're going to have a pairing.
Oh, yeah. I actually have a wine named after me. It's which I've never had, not specifically me, but my last name is Sturm, and there is a Sturm wine that they make in Germany.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very sweet wine that they drink at harvest time, and they don't bottle it and they don't export it. So I've never tried it because I've never been to Germany. But there is a Sturm wine, and apparently it's sweet and delicious, and it's a special occasion.
So everyone who's watching, go to Bandcamp and buy their albums so that you can help fund their trip to Germany so that Michael can try the Sturm whiskey. And you have LPs. I forgot you had LPs.
We have LPs.
You guys want some Irish folk punk in vinyl? You can get that too.
What?
I know you guys have such a diversity of like the different things that you offer. How do you keep all of your different merchandise straight?
Boxes.
Lists. I have them very well organized in QuickBooks so that I can track our inventory through my accounting software. And physically, we keep them more. He does the physical keeping of the merch, and I do the
I used to manage bars,
digital,
so I could keep an inventory of like 1,000 different liquor bottles, and pretty much not run out of most of them. So it's we're pretty good at it, and we run around and I love merch. The first thing I do whenever I go to a show is I check out a band's merch table, and it's fun. It's it's nice to be able to wear stuff or
that's really awesome that that's such a passion for you, because sometimes nice I know. Sorry,
it's a nice outlet because I do love it, and it's extra fun to be able to do it for ourselves our business.
Right, and to be able to have the ability to organize that stuff in your head, because I have tons of ideas for merch, and then I'm like, but I don't, and then stop. So
we also have that.
Do you have beer koozies?
Yeah,
I do. I don't have one here.
These say drink. You say drink. What do you say? You say drink a drink of your drink.
Everyone take a drink of your drink.
Take a drink of your drink. We say drink a drink and drink another.
Oh, I have a shot glass that says Shot Fairy on it.
Woo! Nice. I love it. I need one.
Because sometimes the Shot Fairy visit me during my live streams.
Nice.
Yeah, fairies. I hear a dog.
We have a new puppy.
We have a new puppy.
And maybe he needs another treat, so he'll be quiet.
That's fine. I'm not mad about it. I was just like, I'm just going to talk about the noise that we're all clearly hearing, which is
it that loud? Okay.
I have headphones in.
We love him, and I'm going to go give him another Kong full of peanut butter.
Yeah, so we take the little Kongs and we stuff them with Cheerios and yogurt and fruit and stuff. And then we put peanut butter in there. And then we stick them in the freezer so that he has to like gnaw on those for an hour to keep him to shut up so that we can live stream and things like that. So
I don't mind. I was just like, oh, there's puppy. People love puppies. So
they do. He's really adorable, but he is he's a bull in a china shop right now. So we have to keep him not near electronics or anything that we don't want to be chewed up or trampled on. So
how much of a baby is he? What kind is he?
He's about 36 pounds right now. He's 5 months old, and we've had him for a month, and he's a blue heeler husky Australian shepherd mix, and that's our cats getting into a fight. Anyway, our cats hate each other too. So we live in an RV with 3 animals that all hate each other. So that's fun. Yeah, but the puppy's cute. He's going to be a really good dog. He's just very chompy right now.
Yeah, he's only 5 months old. He's got to learn how to not chomp.
Oh yeah, that's him.
Oh, there he is. Here, hold on. I'm gonna make you guys bigger. Keep it up there.
Zeppo.
There he was.
There's the pup.
And then Sarah Polish Name wants to know about the Meow Meow cat.
So we've got 2 cats. We've got Missy, who is a big fuzzy black cat who's about 15 pounds. She's right here, so that's why I'm looking over there. Mm-hmm. And she's about 10 years old. We've had her for a couple of years. And she doesn't really know how to be a cat, so that's fun. And then I have a kitten that showed up also a couple of years ago. They both came to us in 2020. The kitten is about 3 years old now, and
she's tiny.
She's very small. She's only 7 pounds. And she's just very tiny, and I adore her, and I love her, and she is an amazing travel cat.
She looks just like
this. She looks like that. And her name is Hope, but I just call her Kitten because she's so tiny.
She's thrilled to be held like that.
It's her favorite.
Yeah.
She's a good lap cat, but only when she crawls on your lap. So,
right.
That's the kitties.
Aw, Yaminals. I'm gonna come visit them when you're here in Maryland.
Yes,
by the
absolutely.
way. Yeah, I'm gonna come meet your cats because we've talked about me meeting your animals in Arizona and we never made it happen. This year is happening in that 1 week in between the 2 weeks you're gonna be here. We'll figure it out. I'm not worried. I almost forgot though. I didn't really, but I'm just remembering a second time that you have this amazing music video.
It's celebrating its 10 years old this year.
10th anniversary.
A lot older than that.
Yeah, right. I feel ya. But can I share this video with everybody who's watching right now?
Please.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna do it. I gotta click 2 clicks. That was 1. And here comes Scoot. You guys, and it's called Whiskey Chaser.
Whiskey Chaser. Whiskey
Chaser by the Langers Bell. You guys enjoy.
Till I pass out on the floor. I started
Hey,
I love it. I love that so hard.
that brought back a lot of memories.
Yeah, I haven't watched that in a long time.
It
That's
makes
fun.
me so happy. I love it. So I got a couple questions about that video.
Yeah.
All right. First question is Whiskey Chaser, is that where does that song from? Did you write it? Did you get it from somewhere else? Did you kill a guy and steal the manuscript from his pocket?
I may have done the last, but no, I wrote it. It's a song that we wrote. It was one of our first original songs, I think, as a band,
great.
and we had written a few songs, but that was one of the first ones, and we wanted to make a video for it, and
And it came out absolutely amazing and fun.
it did.
Like
I had an idea of like doing puppets or something, but like something very low key, and so I just went to 2012. I don't know if I went to MySpace or Facebook. I think Facebook. And I said, do I know any friends who are puppeteers? And I was just thinking something like single camera, not moving, just like a puppet doing a thing.
We thought we'd have like the rolling, like scrolling background. And that like the puppet would just like be marching in place and we'd be rolling the background.
Pretty low tech. But our guitar player is a filmmaker. And then we met the people from the Ridiculous Puppet Company, who actually we should have known anyway because we were working at the Minnesota Renaissance Festival with them, but we didn't know them personally. But someone connected, and they said, "You know puppeteers?" I said, "I do." They said, "Yeah, Felton." And so I said, "Well, I know Felton, but I don't know who operates Felton." And so we met them, and they were great. They took the ball and just ran with it. They did a custom build, so that was Willie the Whiskey Chaser, and he was built specifically for that music video. And they helped us with storylines and all kinds of stuff, and they were so fun to work with, Jeff and Megan, and they're
still dear friends.
Yeah,
so
and their work speaks for itself. It's such good work. They're so talented. So we were very lucky.
It came out fantastic. Dory says she plays that at least 2 times a week.
Thanks,
Hi, Dory.
I know, I love it. And so I just put in the chat for everyone who's watching the information to go find Langer's Ball online, Facebook, and YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Bandcamp, where you can buy their albums. They have a ton of merch. You can get some of their albums as LPs as well, which is amazing. And that was Whiskey Chaser. So what was that puppet's name again?
That's Willie the Whiskey Chaser.
Willie the Whiskey Chaser. Did he ever have any luck with girls?
No, he used to chase the women, but they left him in a lurch.
I heard that.
He was dancing with Fafa at the end.
He was dancing with Fafa,
we never got the scoop with him and Fafa. So.
I couldn't tell if they looked like they were having fun or not. They were very focused on whatever their feet were doing.
Yeah. Puppets have a really hard time figuring out what their feet are doing.
I know, right? It's almost like
it takes a lot of effort.
It's almost like their feet aren't connected to their heads.
Yeah.
So weird.
They just kind of do their own thing.
Cool.
Yeah, so I wanted something between like the Hamburglar and the Noid, if you remember the Noid from Domino's.
The Noid.
And but for whiskey. So that was how Willie was born.
That's absolutely amazing. So that's the epic video. I'm gonna put the link in something later because I can't do too much on my computer at the same time or else it'll get mad at me.
Yeah.
Then,
it's on YouTube, y'all. Just search for it.
Yeah, that's right.
Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Whiskey
Smash
Chaser.
that like button. Smash that subscribe button.
Why is that a thing? Like smash? Like I've heard smash and I've heard tickle, which tickle makes me uncomfortable.
Smash actually made me uncomfortable. Tickle is like I'm reporting that to HR.
Yeah, right.
Tickle requires consent, I think.
I think that too. So another interesting fun thing that happened in your life recently is that Hannah had her first sick day ever.
I did.
Well,
as far as the music goes, but yes, I have never missed a gig for being sick and Michael had missed one ever.
I had the flu years ago.
I actually had to call. Michael usually does all of our booking and stuff, and I actually had to call the bar and be like, we can't do this because he couldn't even get out of bed to make a phone call. I didn't even tell him that I canceled it.
I didn't even know that I missed the gig.
But,
I woke up the next day. I had the flu, like the real flu, and it was
But
awful.
that's been at least 10 years.
But she covered the gig, so the gig wasn't missed. But this about 3 weeks ago, after 29 months of escaping it, we got the coronavirus. And it sucked. It was
I
terrible.
do not recommend it, and I never, ever, ever want to get that again.
1 star. Do not recommend.
No.
If you
so
masks and vaccines are awesome. We can't get our vaccine. We can't get our new vaccine now for a little bit, but that's okay because we've got because we got sick, but that's okay because we've got the good herd immunity now. They say the good
Oh,
stuff. But then
that's-
we'll get the vaccine in a couple of months, and then we'll be able to carry it through and keep that
Yeah.
herd immunity.
But if you can avoid it, if you haven't gotten it, don't get it.
It's no joke.
It's no fun.
that's scary.
That was our PSA. The more you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Wear
That's-
your mask. Get your vaccine. Wash your hands.
Yeah.
Don't touch
I have a
that.
little spray hand sanitizer that smells like citrus.
Ooh, nice.
I know I got it from a store. I forget which one. Anyway, well, I'm glad that you are recovered. And
That's my lucky bottle of hand sanitizer.
Yep.
Only let
I'm
me
so
know.
glad you're recovered from all that and you're back up and doing the last 4 weekends of New York.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it out into the viewers. Do you guys have any more chitty chat questions that you want to ask them? Because if you don't have chitty chat questions, then I'm gonna have to play that video again. We do have a little compliment, Jay. He loves seeing you guys in Arizona in
Oh, thanks,
2019
Jay.
and
Thank
this year.
We'll be back next year, Jay. Can't wait to see you.
Excuse me.
Yeah, Jay is Canadian.
We love Canadians.
I
should
know,
say
me too.
We'll be back next year, eh? Can't wait to see you. Bring me some Tim Hortons, please.
Oh,
A maple glaze,
maple glazed.
specifically.
Okay. Can you have that sent to you, do you think?
I don't know.
Tim Hortons.
There used to be Tim Hortons in Minnesota because Minnesota is kind of just like Canada Light.
Right.
But
And
then
where I'm from, I'm in upstate New York, we also have Tim Hortons.
Yeah, and we were really excited to be here in Tuxedo because I knew it was north of the city, but apparently it's not north enough to have a Tim Hortons.
No, it is not.
It's beautiful, though. They've got great pizza, but no Tim
maybe
Hortons.
Vanessa will bring us some Tim Hortons.
Just throwing that out there. Tim Hortons always welcome. Maple glaze.
We have a question from a viewer. What is your favorite memory from performing? Or I like to say, what is one of your favorites?
Yeah, because there's
There was a kid that asked us if we like our jobs.
yeah.
It's not really a good story, but
no, but it was
this cute little boy, and just he watched our whole show with his mom and dad, and like they kind of pushed him at the end of the show, like go up and ask him, and he just came up and he was kind of shy, and he just said, "Do you like your jobs?" and we love our jobs, and we were so happy. So it was like, yeah, we just kind of gushed, and yes, we had a great time. He's like, you look like you like your jobs.
Aw,
Yeah, I know. He was very sweet.
that's adorable. Chenna's got an alcohol-related question. What whiskeys do you recommend? Because Chenna's baby brother turns 21 next week, and she's going to be that sister that gets that brother the whiskeys.
We can answer separately.
Oh yeah, we both had like very different types
if you like
of whiskey.
Irish whiskey, my favorite Irish whiskey is Teeling, Teeling, and they make 3 different whiskeys, and they're all pretty incredible. They've got the lowest end one is very affordable, and it's super complex, and there's like all kinds of stuff happening. It's the most interesting whiskey I've had, and then the next 2 are better still and equally complex and delicious, and I love them.
And I've never had it, so I have no comment on that particular whiskey.
Yeah, so that's a nice one. It's $1 or 2 more a shot than normal. My normal day drinking whiskey, not day. Well, sometimes I day drinking, but my regular, like if I'm just gonna get a whiskey just to like, hey, let's have a whiskey, is Tullamore Dew. It's another Irish whiskey. It's lovely. So that's my Irish whiskey recommendations. Neither of them will break the bank. Both of them will get you where you're going.
I'm a fan of Bushmills myself, which is also Irish whiskey. It's from the north though. And but it's very good. It's a little bit smoky, but it's not like I don't like Scotch, but it has just a little bit of that thing going on. I like it. But I'm really more of a bourbon person myself. So.
We got a couple more questions. I also realized I don't know how to spell Dew from Tullamore Dew.
DEW.
Oh, I was right in my second choice. Another question. How did you come up with the kick drum you use?
Great question.
Oh,
hey, Todd. So I have 2 kick drums that I use. I think Todd probably would have seen the 5-gallon water bucket that I use. I also have a suitcase that I use. Both of them were going after the same thing as I wanted something that I could use a kick drum pedal with. But I needed it to, and I wanted it to sound like a drum, but not be as loud as a drum. So when we're on big stages and sound stages, if we're playing in clubs, if we're opening for bigger bands, I can always put a microphone behind it and make it as loud as I need it. But also, if we're in between sets at a Renaissance festival and we decide to just set up on the street, I need to be able to sing over it without having a microphone. So the first one I created was the water jug, which was a prototype. I walked around my house and I just started tapping everything, like looking for something that had some presence that sounded drum-like. And the first thing I thought of was a guitar case. I thought that'll be great. I'll take my guitar out, I'll put the pedal on, and it'll work. And it sounded like a guitar case. It was terrible.
Like cardboard.
Yeah, it sounded like cardboard. So it just went kind of clink, clink. But then I found the water jug, and it had a nice thump to it, but it wasn't very loud, and I could sing over it. So I set it all up, and I did like a really crude little structure with like 2x4s, and that's still what I use today. I brought it to a show at the Dubliner pub in St. Paul, which is kind of our home pub where we can try stuff out, and it works so well that I never rebuilt anything.
Had to retape it a few times.
Yeah, I cracked the head on it right away. But I'm still using this. Well, actually, I'm on my second bucket after like 7 years. But I just put gaff tape over it, and it fixes the crack. But then I also
the pedal got stuck.
yeah, I cracked through the drum head, and the pedal just went like
in, but didn't come back out.
Didn't come back out. So I had to put a bunch of tape in there, so it didn't do that. I also made one out of a suitcase because I saw somebody else had one, and it was really cool. It's harder to carry around, so this one, the water jug, is good because I just grab it. I grabbed the handle from the water jug and I just set it down, and it works, and it just works. So that's how it was. Just kind of by happenstance, I tapped on a bunch of things until I found something that went boom instead of thud.
That's amazing. I would be like, I need a drum, and that's what I would.
Bring me a drum.
But now you know who to call if you need a drum.
Yeah, I'm gonna call Michael. We got a question from Susan. She asks, do you miss streaming online? So if some of the viewers don't know, Langers Ball had like this crazy setup of streaming online with like multiple cameras and this whole room and fun lights. And they would do, what did you do? Like a Pogues cover show?
We did Pogues cover show. We did lots of stuff. We did whiskey. We did whiskey on a Sunday. Sunday mornings, we would do an all whiskey show. We would do a Wednesday night all request show. We did all kinds of stuff, and we miss you, Susan Hill.
I miss aspects of it.
Yeah, definitely.
But
we're thrilled to be back to live.
It's so nice to be back to live, and we don't have that same setup here because we can't physically. It's too much stuff and not enough room in the RV, so we can't do streams like that while we're on the road, and we're mostly on the road.
Yeah.
So,
but during the pandemic, we were very lucky to be in a place that we had not carbon fiber.
That's my whistles.
Yeah, fiber optic internet, and so we had really fast internet connections. It was really stable, and so yeah, we went crazy with it. Every week we tried to make it a little bit better. We added multiple cameras, lighting, different lights. So we were playing the show live, and I was operating the cameras and the lights with my feet while we were doing it, and Hannah was monitoring all the comments. And I miss that connection, especially at that period of time, that the pandemic, like the height of the pandemic before the vaccines, was such a weird, disconnected time. And it was one of these things that really made me feel connected to our community. And there were days that it was just like, I don't want to get on the live stream, but we promised we'd do it. We promised we'd do it. And no matter how I was feeling going into it, coming out of it, I always felt energized and so much better and just much more connected to people. And I miss that. I miss that feeling because it was the closest thing to live performing that I could think of. And now I'm probably ungrateful for it because we're back to live performing, and so I'm not doing it as much.
Well, it's different though because you guys are like super hustlers on a festival day.
Yes.
So you are playing nonstop, street, stage, wherever you can be, you're playing. And to have all that energy on the weekends doesn't always leave a lot of extra energy for having the epic kind of live streams that you guys have.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. I'm not playing all day long on a festival day. So I'd save some of my energy for Wednesday night streams where I'm just sitting and reading. So it's way different that you guys have so many different things going on. And even if you were to shoot in the RV, you're still playing and different instruments and singing different songs. And so it's much more intense and energy intense.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
makes
Well,
sense.
And when we're doing it live with people and crowds, and like we're getting that energy back from people, and when you're doing it in front of the camera, you're just, I mean, we get the comments, which is great, but it's like
Yeah.
you don't get that like immediate, like you can't see how something's going to hit, and just there just isn't that back and forth. So it's just, it just feels like you're just giving, and not that it's not appreciated, but you can't tell that it's being I don't know.
I also developed a very weird habit during the live streams that I brought forward onto the stage, and I think I've pretty much tamped it down. But at the end of the live stream, at the end of the songs, we're used to hearing applause, or even if everyone's ignoring us, we're used to hearing the bar around us or something. But it was always quiet, and so at the end of pretty much every song, I just started going "Yay!" And then I realized once we got like back to performing, I was going "Yay!" on the microphones at the live shows, and I don't need to do that. There's an audience now. But we have done some live streams from the RV, and that's fun. And we have a pretty good little Wi-Fi setup that's fairly
stable,
fairly trustworthy. We just haven't really gotten in a groove of doing it regularly like we would like to. Yay! Thank you, Jonathan. But it was, we used to do Wednesday night live streams, and that was kind of a good thing. And we had this cool community that people would.
It was like the Langers Ball chat room. It was like the same people would come, and
I think they muted us and just started chatting with people, which is fine.
They do that to me too on my streams.
I loved it though. I loved it, and I miss that dearly. And so we would try to do Wednesday nights again, but with the travel between shows, you miss a week here and there, and suddenly you miss a bunch. And then we had our wonderful Zelda, which was our old dog, and we lost her this year. And then we got a new dog, and then we got COVID, and we got this and that. So it's like life just gets in the way. Yeah. But yes, Susan, I miss the live streams. We miss you. We miss the whole gang of people, and we're terrible, and we should do more.
No, you're not terrible. Whatever you just said. No, no, it's hard. It's hard to put that all in. When the pandemic started, and I was like, I'm gonna have to live stream. I work at Renaissance festivals. I don't want technology. I work in the 16th century, and then I had to learn how to do all these different programs and stuff, and I hate it. Yeah. And now I'm like, well, I like it. I don't want to learn anything new.
Yeah.
But I feel like I have to. Like, it's weird. It's that weird.
Yeah.
Playing different ways, and so yeah. I know we had a question that I think got asked twice, so let's scroll up and see if I can find it. Pete wants to know, what was your favorite part of Bristol? Very innocuous question from Pete.
Clearly, it was meeting Pete and Lynn.
That's such a surprise.
But aside from the obvious, I would say, and I don't mean this in any bad way towards any other fair, because they're all great, but Bristol stinking loves their music.
They do,
like crazy. And
there's
always amazing fans at every show. The sheer quantity of them at Bristol is off the hook, and it's so fun to go there and to be a musician, and we feel very lucky to have that show.
I mean, we had a full house at 11 o'clock in the morning. That doesn't happen. Like a lot of times our first show of the day is just a couple people that work there, and then a couple other people that follow us, and then a couple other people that are just walking by.
So I'm gonna put up a picture at the Bristol. This was the closing weekend.
Okay, I'm going to make you bigger. Hold on.
Okay, there's Hannah. But don't look at Hannah. Look at how far back that crowd goes. And they were all there for the show, and that was like a portion of the audience. They go crazy for music, and we love it.
That's amazing.
I mean, it is Wisconsin, and they were serving beer. So there was
they may have been inebriated and drunk on cheese. But
I mean, who doesn't get drunk on cheese?
Yeah.
I am putting this. This is not a stupid question, but Jamie's asking, where is Bristol? The Bristol Renaissance Festival is in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and it is a very large old festival. It's been around for a long time. The closest city to it is Chicago.
Between Milwaukee and Chicago.
Okay, so yeah, so that's there. That's that.
You go to Illinois, you go to the Illinois border, because we're right on the border. So you go there to get your edibles, but then you go to Wisconsin to get your cheese,
to get your munchies
and your beer, and your gas, because gas is like $1 cheaper in Wisconsin than in Illinois. So just
things we never thought we would know about, like gas prices in different states when we
I know.
before we started traveling.
I
Yeah.
know.
All right. I'm looking alcohol and cheese is suggested, so yes, obviously, and all the day. I Jonk, where have you been? So this is Jonk. He's my best friend.
I know Jonk.
Do you guys know Jonk too?
A little. Not
we know him digitally.
We know him digitally. We'd love to meet him. We'd love to meet him personally. But yes, we know Jonk.
In analog.
Yes.
In analog. The old way. Face to face. How dare you? Yeah, Jonk has redfest.org. And it's a really awesome website. So for those of you who are watching that don't know about it, Jonk, feel free to put that link in that shitty chat if you would like to. Vanessa's very excited for you to be at Maryland this year, as am I. And Sarah Polishneam has our final question of the evening, and that is, what was it like sharing a stage with Cabana Saucy and Rob?
They are fantastic, and we had never met them before. We knew them by reputation, but they were so warm and welcoming. Bristol was Rob's home show. He grew up there and kind of developed his whole shtick there, as I understand it. And he didn't have to be so kind and so generous and so like informative. This was only our second year at Bristol, and it was
our first full season.
Yeah, we were only there for 3 weeks last year, and Rob was just like, what do you need to know? How can I help? How can we grease the wheels?
And it was his sound system that we were using.
Yes, it was, and it was a good sound system. So it was great. It was a great experience, and I was just texting with him today because we're in New York. Whenever we go places, we try to, and you'll have to tell me what to eat in Maryland. We try to eat the food of where we are. So we are gorging on New York pizza because we love New York style pizza, and we have our favorite places out here. When we're in Arizona, it sounds kind of trashy, but we eat so much Del Taco because I love Del Taco. And so, but Rob was just messaging me today. He said, "Oh, all your pizza posts have made me think I need to go find a decent Philly cheesesteak," because he's just north of Philadelphia right now performing at Parf.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm going to tell you all the places to eat in Maryland, and I'm going to take you to my favorite Mexican place that's here. Do you like Mexican foods? Okay, good.
Even better than Del Taco.
Yeah, and they have queso there. That's amazing. So I'm going to take you. So I'm putting... Go ahead.
Do they have like margarita pitchers?
I don't know. I've never asked.
Okay.
But maybe we'll make it happen. They love the Renaissance Festival people.
Okay.
Yay.
Yeah. All right. Last but not least, final question of the evening from me, the Gwendolyn, is if you had a cheese and you had to put that cheese somewhere, where would you put it?
Well, before there, you put it on the counter all day so it gets warm and room temperature and sweaty, and then it just melts it. Yep.
I feel like warm and room temperature was good, but when you added sweaty, then I didn't want that cheese anymore.
That's how you know when it's right, though.
Yeah.
That's when it's sweating to get in your mouth.
Yeah.
Especially
the Wisconsin cheese curds.
The cheese curds, they squeak on your teeth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They don't squeak when they're cold. They're
warm.
When they're warm, they squeak, and oh my goodness, squeaky cheese. It's so good.
Squeaky cheese curds are the bestest. Pretty much. All right, kids. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us and hanging out with me, Gwendolyn, and the Langers Ball, Hannah and Michael, who are currently appearing at the New York Renaissance Festival for the next 4 weekends. And then they're coming over to Maryland for the final 2 weekends of the Maryland Festival and going down south to Sarasota. And it is awesome. Please make sure you find them online. All their information has been put in the chats on the ticker below. Also, if you enjoyed this podcast stream post, for the digital Ren Fair, please consider joining our Patreon, or you can contribute to our PayPal. Those links are coming up in the chat just right now, because we are our content now for digital Ren Fair is focused on the characters of the festival and the lives of the people behind the characters and the history of Renaissance Festival. So all of the Patreon and PayPal stuff helps us keep that going. Again, I'm going to put all the blah, 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 the information for these guys in the chitty chat. And Michael is probably going to show you some more vinyl records that I saw him grab from the back.
What? How'd you know? The support
Because I
Digital
just-
Run Fair. Digital Run Fair is the best. We love you
Thanks.
guys. Thank you
I
guys.
love you guys too. And we're going to wrap this up with, I'm going to take these guys off. I'll talk to you guys in just a couple minutes. And thanks again from everyone here at the Digital Ren Fair for coming and watching. If you've missed any of our previous podcasts, our history podcasts, or our Ren Talks podcast, those are available wherever podcasts are listened to, and also on our YouTube channel. And these green rooms, this is only the second episode, so stay tuned for much more green room goodness. Yep, green room goodness coming at you from the Digital Ren Fair. I hope you had a great night. These are some of my favorite people, and I will see you again in the hopefully, where is the thing I need to play, in the near future.